like to take a moment and share with you details regarding our Bander edition of our June Custom Income Note. This is a vehicle that we are utilizing on behalf of clients. It will be part of our actively managed portfolios, primarily with an emphasis on models 1, 2, and 3. When we look at this particular investment and customize it on behalf of clients, we're seeking income and we're seeking more of what we consider to be an investment in place of a bond. It is a debt instrument. Allow me to take a few minutes, share my screen, and walk you through the details of our Bander June Custom Income Note. Now, I'll remind you, when we look at a custom income note, there are 4 key components. Number 1, what are the underlying securities? Number 2, the duration or the maturity of this particular instrument. How long will it last? Number 3, what are our downside protections? We like to refer to these as our buffers or our barriers. And then lastly, what's our coupon? What's our opportunity for return? These particular investments pay monthly cash coupons that will go back into your Bander supervised account. As I mentioned previously, this particular note we feel leans more towards a bond or a replacement of what otherwise might be considered a bond investment. So from that risk-adjusted return standpoint, we feel that we're somewhere in between a stock and a bond, but tilting more towards the replacement of a bond. This particular income note, we're looking at 3 individual ETFs. An ETF, I'll remind you, is a basket of funds. With this particular note leaning more towards a replacement or instead of a bond, we wanted to tilt more on what we consider to be the conservative side. So we're looking at 3 funds with what we feel has less volatility. Number 1, this SPDR Gold Shares ETF. Number 2, the Utilities Sector ETF. And then we're looking at number 3, the VanEck Semiconductor. Chips, equipment, it's associated with technology. This is going to include like NVIDIA. I'll give you a few examples within this ETF, but those 3 ETFs are our underlying securities. The issuer in this case is UBS, and the duration of the note is 15 months. It will be placed on June 27th. Therefore, money will need to be inside of the Bander supervised accounts by June 25th. We have 2 barriers that we're watching most closely. Number 1 is your coupon protection. And this is the barrier by which your coupon or your monthly interest payment is conditioned. For example, 20% is that barrier, meaning that as long as these 3 underlying securities are within 80% of their value on the observation date, the 27th of each month, as long as they're not down by more than 20%, we will receive a monthly cash coupon or interest payment. When annualized, that interest payment is 12%. Now, when it comes to the principal protection, we'll look at one date, and that's 15 months from June 27th. And as long as these 3 underlying ETFs are within 60% of their value, or in other words, have not fallen by more than 40%, then a full repayment of principal will take place. If that barrier is breached at maturity, then some loss of principal may occur. So we're tracking that one date, 15 months from June 27th, very closely, and then our observation dates will determine if performance conditions are met, that interest payment, which when annualized is 12%. Now, these underlying securities, couple of components. The gold shares, of course, comes from the commodities, precious metals sector. It tracks the price of gold bullion. Each share represents fractional ownership in physical gold that's held in a trust. The second one being the utilities sector. We feel that these are good in a volatile market. So if the market starts to experience even more volatility, we feel that these are some that can stay within our thresholds. So this is looking at utility companies within the S&P 500, water, gas providers. This is considered to be low volatility defensive characteristics. And then lastly, the semiconductor ETF is in technology. It tracks the performance of 25 US and international semiconductor companies, leaders like NVIDIA and Intel. These are our 3 underlying securities. We have gone and backdated. We've looked at the last 10 years and backtested these underlying securities, and therefore feel that this income note is of quality right now for our actively managed portfolios. If, of course, you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to your team here at Bander Wealth Management. We consider it an honor and a privilege to work on behalf of our clients and remind you to follow our social media pages or visit our education center on YouTube for additional educational content, as well as tax-advantaged wealth smart strategies. Please don't hesitate to reach out if you have any questions, and look for next month in July. We plan to do more of a growth income note and look forward to sharing with you. Thank you.